Welcome back, everybody, to some more End of a New Beginning, playing as the German Empire. It's 1878, and the War Cabinet has made its wishes well known. They have overwhelmingly voted that when we are able to, we should stomp out the potential socialist threat of the Paris Commune first. So we are going to focus all of our efforts on dealing with France when the time comes. We're going to go ahead and start getting all of our forces in that direction. We've only got 32 divisions right now, so we're gonna have to start building up our army once again. You can see here we've got 32 divisions. France has 0 at the moment, but that's not the Paris Commune, that's France. So we might have to look and see where the Paris Commune is in terms of armed forces. I guess I don't see it at the moment. There it is. They've got 6 divisions, so not a huge threat there, but that's one we'll definitely want to stomp out as soon as we can. Okay, so our main issue right now is that we are puppeted by the United Kingdom. When I forced that white peace, I didn't do so the right way, and that's why we lost a lot of our territory, if you saw the previous episodes, and also got puppeted by the United Kingdom, which is ridiculous because they're the most powerful nation on Earth. So now we have an opportunity to deal with that, and the way we have to do it is to declare war on the UK to remove that puppet from the UK. So now we're once again at war with them, but we'll deal with it. It's just there's not really any way to get at them over there, so that was the reason we kind of made the white peace in the first place. So strangely, it didn't declare the war on the UK, but my allies are at war with the UK. So that's primarily Austria, but also Mexico. Kind of strange how that happened, but I'm really not complaining because I didn't want to have a war. The UK is actually at war with the Paris Commune right now. So we may actually find ourselves getting in on their side when that time comes. We've got a lot of new divisions that are rushing into the field now. And we can continue to work on national focus. And I think we're going to do it here. We can go the silver standard, the gold standard. None of it really matters a whole lot because it's all going to eventually take us down to the same area. We've also got some options over here as far as building up our navy, but I don't think I want to go there either. Let's focus on the army for a while. We'll do a centralized army. Okay, we're going to go ahead and justify a war goal on the Paris Commune. It's going to take 235 days to do that, and we'll get all of our available divisions in position. Oh, we got von Moltke. Excellent. What we really need is a overall commander. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll clear out our old orders and make one. And then we're gonna just issue orders to take it all, because I don't expect France to put up much of a fight. They've only got a few divisions. It really should not be a major issue. So one thing we haven't done, because it really hasn't mattered a whole lot with our fighting so far, is look at the traits for our generals. General von Moltke has several available to him. And what I want to look at are the ones that are going to help with supplies. And I think some of those are only available to field marshals. So trickster, guerrilla fighter, infantry expert, I think is probably the way to go here, because that's primarily what we have at the moment. Fortress buster, equipment capture ratio gain, nah, let's go fortress buster. And then let's go ahead and take a look at our field marshal. So what I'm looking for is something that helps with supply. Here we go. Logistics wizard. Perfect. Fast planner. Thorough planner. Offensive doctrine. Yeah, let's do that. Reinforce rate. Charismatic. Division recovery rate. That'll be helpful there. Alright, perfect. This general hasn't actually gained any yet. Von Moltke. Or no, we already did all his. That's why. What about him? Alright, cool. So we're preparing for our invasion. We've just added some new units, but there's not enough supply to get them to move yet. which is why 12 of my divisions are still sitting up there. We just don't have enough supply to get them down there, but honestly, we don't need them. After weeks of searching ancient dusty books for claims and scanning the German nobility for valid claimants, we have at last found a proper candidate that will bring stability to our country by silencing the calls for an heir. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look and see where we're at on our national focus. We've got a lot of options available over here. Enforce Prussian uniforms. That gives legislative power, but a reduction in stability. New recruitment system. I don't really need more people, honestly. To be honest, really none of these really help me a lot. We'll go with that one that'll give me a 50% bonus on land doctrine. It's about the only one that's really useful to me at this point. All right, where are we at on declaring war on the Paris Commune? December 1878 is when we'll be able to do that. All right, we're a little bit ahead on the Kiel Canal preparations. A year and a half ahead to be exact, but we're going to go ahead and start working on that. I think that's going to be really beneficial to me to be able to go through this way instead of having to go up and around Denmark and pass through their territory to be able to get my ships out to sea. All right, we're going to go ahead and follow the domestic policy tree for a little while on our focus tree, see what that has to offer for us. We're into September now, and we're just a couple of months away from being able to launch our attack on the Paris Commune to free the French from their socialist oppressors. All right, we've completed domestic policy. Now let's look and see what domestic policies are available. I don't think we can do colonization yet. Social security laws, bump in population, civilian construction speed, legislative power, stability, war support. That's actually pretty good right there. Fight the Social Democrats. Not sure about that one at the moment. Let's start with this culture conf. The struggle for the culture. All right, we're a couple weeks away from war with France. Okay, well, we not only completed our justification of war against the Paris Commune, we've also completed the Gewehr 71. So we've got new equipment available to us to start sending to our forces in the field. Now, we don't have a lot of available. Well, actually we do, because we're pretty well caught up on most of these other things. So let's ramp up mad production of those things. Right now we can do 62 a day, which isn't much, but it'll add up pretty quickly. We've also got a research slot available. We're going to continue working on military research. Let's get the bolt action mechanism going. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll declare war against this anarchist government. We're going to lose one political stability. Not a big deal. We're going to very quickly march right through Paris. And now the British are our allies in this war against the Paris Commune. We don't even have all of our forces moving. Now they're starting to move. You can see those other divisions that we were waiting to get into place. This is not going to take long at all. The Paris Commune had very little by way of military, but they are marching into Spain, which is really, really interesting. Holy cow. What just happened? Non-aggression pacts with all of the available British allies. That's really interesting. I don't know that I need to go in and accept all these non-aggression pacts, but here you can see exactly what all is at stake as far as the war against the Paris Commune. Just insane. Absolutely insane. We don't need to accept all these, I don't think. All right, we're about to take Paris itself. It's January 1879. There, Paris has fallen. And that's it. That's all it took. We're going to take all states, which isn't really a whole lot at the moment. Looks like most of it goes back to France. But now we own Paris, which is kind of interesting. We own Paris, and France kind of has everything else for itself. We just liberated France is what we did. Aragon is an independent nation from Spain, which is really cool. And that's about it. That was a really quick war. Not a lot to show for it, but we are back as the #1 world power yet again. We had to passed the UK back up. They were ahead of us for a little while there. We're up to 47 divisions to their 8, 114 factories to their 60, and actually almost half the size of their navy now. We've completed Culture Conf. Let's go ahead and take a look. Church strikes. I'm not sure what that's about, but I don't think it sounds like strikes in churches to control religion in our country. No, I don't think we want to do that. Our culture. Here we go. Legislative power 150, game-based stability, game-based war support. We'll go ahead and do that. We can actually justify war on France if we so choose. Not entirely sure we want to do that, but France is actually at war with our allies. They're part of that larger war that's still going on between the British and the Mexicans. So you got the Mexicans, Zululand, Austria, and Lombardy on one side. The French, the UK, and others on the other side. We still can't add Italy to our alliance because the Papal State still controls Rome. So until that changes, there's nothing we can do about that. We could justify a war goal against them and then maybe hand it over to Italy to get that to happen, but I don't know. Maybe we go to war with Italy herself. I don't know. There's so many decisions here. All right, we've completed our culture. Now we have begin Germanization. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm curious to see what else. We can be Germanizing in Poland, in Denmark, and in France. It's currently unavailable due to the culture system not yet being implemented. So really there's no reason to pursue that because that is an area of the game. There's a lot of parts to this game that haven't been added yet, and you'll see that. Once we get to 1880, 1890, we've kind of reached the limit of what's currently available in the game. Eventually they want it to go all the way to 2050 with things like the space race. And being able to go to Mars and everything like that. So obviously they're not nearly there yet, but there's a lot of folks working on this, and they're adding new content all the time. So I don't know how much further we're going to go with this. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Would you like me to continue working as the German Empire, or would you like to see me try playing as a different nation on this mod, or even on a different mod? So we can kind of go with whatever you guys most want to see. I guess there are some things we could still accomplish on this one if we want to go for world domination or something, but beyond that, as far as the content goes, there's really not a whole lot else out there. In case you were curious what was happening elsewhere in the world, Samuel Tilden is the president of the United States. He was actually the Democratic candidate for president in the 1876 election, which was one of the most contentious in history. It was the end of Reconstruction, and Rutherford B. Hayes was the Republican nominee. I think he was the governor of Ohio at the time. It was kind of a string of Ohio Republicans who were president in a short period of time. You had Grant, who was born in Ohio. Then you had Hayes from Ohio. Then you had James Garfield, who was from Ohio. Then you have, Benjamin Harrison from Ohio, and William McKinley from Ohio. So then eventually Warren G. Harding as well. But Tilden lost that election because the election was disputed, and it had to go to the House of Representatives because nobody had a majority of the electoral votes, which is how you get elected here in the United States as president. And when that happens, it goes to the House of Representatives. And so there was a dispute about some of the votes, including those in South Carolina. And Tilden only needed one electoral vote to win, whereas Hayes needed all of the disputed electoral votes to win. And in a series of partisan votes, a Republican majority committee gave all of the electoral votes to Rutherford B. Hayes, who was afterwards known in the papers as Rutherford, who basically made a backdoor deal with the South to pull all the federal troops out. He basically rolled on millions of former slaves in order to take the presidency by ending Reconstruction. And it wasn't all Hayes' fault. Reconstruction, the American public had largely turned against Reconstruction by that point, but Reconstruction was the only thing that was allowing the former slaves to have any chance at real freedom in the South. And by ending Reconstruction, that led to decades of racism and segregation in the South, and So we see Samuel Tilden wins that election instead. The Whigs have taken power in the Confederate States under a man named Jim Taylor. Meanwhile, we've just continued another policy here. Insurance against invalidity, against accidents. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a look and see. I would guess most other places, it's pretty well what we would expect. Traditional conservatism in the Russian Federation. We've got centrism in the UK under Gladstone. So really the United States is the main place where things look very, very different, including the fact that they own Greenland, which happened a few episodes back. I don't know if they own Alaska, though. Yeah, I guess they do. All right, we've completed the Kiel Canal preparations research, which means now we ought to be able to actually move forward with that project. There we go. So let's see. When Holstein and Schleswig, they each add a building slot, and then we get a one-time 25% research bonus for Kiel Canal technology. So I guess there is another one of those we have to do. 945 days to research. That's another 5 years. And it looks like it's actually all the way until 1890 before we can fully complete that project. So we've got a while to go there. One other thing we can talk about real quick here while we're waiting for more things to happen is Sweden up here. You can see Sweden and Norway are one nation, and that was actually, well, they weren't one nation. They were under one government. It was a united kingdom, much like you have the United Kingdom of Wales, Northern Ireland, England, and Scotland. It was a united kingdom that went from 1814 until 1905, where they were under one common monarch. And so then that dissolution happened in 1905 when Sweden and Norway separated and became separate nations yet again. We've hit 1880, which means we can advance to the machine era because we've completed all of the necessary requirements for that. That's going to give us some big changes as far as some of the research and technology and production capacity goes. I don't think there's anything else we can do at the moment beside that. We'll go ahead and do a carnival. And then we can complete industrialization. Excellent. That's all going to really help me as far as production goes. Don't know what else we want to do over here. We're probably going to have to trigger the colonization when we want to go ahead and do that, but I don't think we're there yet. I guess we'll work down this way. We can add some we have to keep the gold standard first. Let's do that. Let's take a look and see where we are in naval research now. We could research the 1880 monitor hull if we want. We can get early torpedo boat hull. We can go up to 1880 protected cruiser, and I think that's what I'm going to do. We're starting to build quite a navy. We've got 90 ships now, 95 ships in our navy. It's a navy that rivals that of the United Kingdom and of France for world domination, and that's going to help tremendously when we do go to colonize. We can update our uniforms now to the 1870 uniform. We've got a number of things we need to do to update, actually. All right, keep the gold standard. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. These episodes do take quite a while to play through, even for a couple of years of game time. But here's the question I'm going to throw out to all of you. I'm going to make it a poll question for the War Cabinet over on Patreon. But I'm also going to throw it out to everybody who's watching, and you can use the comment section below to let me know your thoughts. Here are the options moving forward. We can continue to play the campaign as is. Just continue to play like I am, kind of taking it as it goes, doing research, getting things ready, maybe fighting in wars, maybe not. We can end this series and play as another nation on this same mod. And if we decide that route, I'll throw out another poll question asking what nation we should play. We can play this, but go for world domination. Just go nuts and try to conquer the entire planet, or at least most of the major nations. Or we can just end this and completely play a different mod on Hearts of Iron 4. And again, that would lead to a further poll question. So those are the questions I'm going to throw out for you. What do you want to see me do next? This is probably going to be a couple of times a week series regardless of the outcome, because I do have Crusader Kings 3 coming out tomorrow, and I'm definitely going to be playing that. We're going to continue to play some Grand Tactician and some of the other games that I've been working on. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Patrons, head over to Patreon and vote in that poll. Thanks so much. Drop a like if you would. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.